You grabbed me by my hair because you fight like a nigger. You grabbed me by my hair because you fight like a nigger.
Yo, you think it's fine to say that word?
Yeah.
You think it's fine?
I'm already online saying it. I don't care.
I'm just asking you, do you think it's fine to say that? So it's fine to say that?
Ruin people's lives over saying a word and then they'll stop saying it. That's the only reason I'm still saying it, because I'm online everywhere saying it. And I don't have any friends or anything anymore, so no, actually, I don't care.
So because you don't have no friends and your life is messed up, you think you can disrespect people by saying that word?
She disrespects me.
I'm not talking about her, ma'am. I'm not talking about her.
Friends sitting in my fucking driveway.
Listen, I'm not talking about her. I was just coming through and passing it with somebody blocking the joint. I'm just asking you a question because I'm a black person, but I'm not a nigger, and you're just using it freely. And what if I wasn't as respectful and I got out and slapped the shit out of you because you said that? How would you call the cops and you don't even know who the hell I am?
Yeah, exactly.
I would slap the shit out of you, be on the ground.
That's okay. Because you have no impulse control. It's a word.
It doesn't matter. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, I've had
and
plenty
you're
of
continuously doing
said
it.
to me.
That doesn't have anything to do with the topic, ma'am.
Impulse control. Go tell Daryl Lamont.
Y'all. Now, did I not say that a lot of white people's racism is a coping mechanism? Yeah, let me go ahead and play the intro, then we gonna get into this. Okay, before we get started, let's iron out the facts, right? Like, how did we get here? Let's get some context, okay? So this video starts off with two white women, okay? Because that's important. You would think that the other one was black based off how the first one was talking, right? You would think, but no. This video starts off with two white women. I'm going to call them Becky 1 and Becky 2, okay? Now, Becky 1 is going to be the focus of this video because Becky 2 was, largely not involved in this nonsense, okay? So two white women, apparently they got into a fight prior to this video recording beginning, because Becky 1 is saying to Becky 2, you pull my hair because you fight like a nigger. You pull my hair because you fight like a nigger. Okay, now my question is this. How black people get into it? That'd be my confusion. It'll be two non-black people going back and forth, and somehow black people get brought up. You apparently got your ass beat by Becky 2. Okay, cool, whatever, right? You could have vocalized your complaint. Oh, you only won because you pulled my hair without bringing black people up. How did we get into it? That's my confusion. Like, huh, right? But anyway, that is the background context that we need. Apparently, Becky 1 and Becky 2 fought before this video. And it is important that they are both white women because, again, how did black people get brought up, right? Now, there's a black man recording this interaction, and he confronts Becky 1 about her usage of the N-word. He says, hey, do you think that's cool or whatever, right? And this is what I noticed about white people in the N-word, okay? So let's take race out of it for a second. Have you ever seen two people going back and forth, right? So say one person says, oh, you ugly or something. And another person says, say it again, I dare you. And the first person takes that as, they take that as you trying to little dog me, right? So usually they repeat themselves and they say, bitch, you ugly, because who gonna check me? Yeah, I'm gonna say it again because what you gonna do about it, right? And that's the mentality that white people have when they use the N-word. It's a who gonna check me sort of mentality, because realistically, throughout history, who checked their ass for the most part, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Exceptions to the rule exist. But largely throughout history, white people could basically do what they wanted to without getting checked, right? Now, let me be very clear. Black people weren't just taking shit by and large. We fought back, absolutely, but we're outnumbered here. Look at the history in America. Anytime a black person fought back, right, which we did a lot, right? White people will come together with some lynch mob of 1,000 people, and they would do what lynch mobs do, right? So, again, for a very long time, white people have been able to do what they want to do unchecked. Because even if they did get checked, they just call in 999 other white folks and burn down the whole black town, right? So even in 2025, white people still have this who gonna check me sort of mentality. And we see that in this video, right? So when the black man confronts Becky 1 and he says, hey, you think that that's okay? You think that that's cool to just be using that word? She's like, yeah, golly gee, I've said it on the internet before, dog diggity. Like, yeah, you know? And let me tell you why I'm laughing, right? Because it gets to the point where she says, oh yeah, I don't have any friends or anything. Like, okay. So basically she says she has nothing to lose. Her life sucks. I forget if she says, oh, I don't have like a job or friends or whatever. I don't know, right? But basically she's saying like, I can say what I want to say because I have nothing to lose, right? And this is what I mean when I say that this racism is a coping mechanism. You're a fucking loser. You are. You even said it yourself. You said it yourself. I didn't say that. At least not first, right? You told me that. You're a loser, right? So the only way to feel better about the fact that you're a complete fucking loser is to pretend that no matter what, you're better than black people. That's the only thing that keeps you holding on. In the past, I've mentioned how white people are very offended when you have more of anything than them, right? So if you're more educated than them, they're mad. If you make more money than them, they're mad. If you're prettier than them, they're mad. If you got a better body than them, they're mad. If you got a bigger dick than them, they're mad, right? Because again, they use racism as a coping mechanism. So like Becky One in this video, she's like, well, I don't have any friends. I have nothing to lose, right? But in her head, she can think, but at least I'm not a black person though, right? And that's why she's sitting here using the N-word as a coping mechanism. Because again, the woman she was fighting was not even black. At least it would make more sense if the woman she was fighting was black. Then of course it's like, okay, well you know, you trying to get under the woman you fought skin by using the N-word. She's a black woman. Okay, checks out, right? No, the woman she was fighting not even black. So how the hell the N-word get into it? You literally just got your ass beat. You don't have no friends. I forget if she said she had a job or not, right? Basically, bitch, your life sucks. You suck, right? And you know that. You acknowledge that yourself, right? And you sitting here like, but at least I can use the N-word. It's like it gives them a sense of like, ooh, I have something, right? That's why I said, no, don't get me wrong. All white people are racist. Hold up. Don't get me wrong, right? But them broke white people are especially dangerous because, again, white people believe that they should have everything, right? They should have everything, and black people should have nothing. So if you have more than a white person, they take it especially offensively, and they want to destroy everything that you have. And that's not something that just started, like I mentioned. White folks used to burn down entire black towns and stuff, right? Because they believe that black people should have nothing, and they should always be above us. Now, my thing is this, because the black man initially, you know, he tries to reason with this woman, and of course she is unable to be reasoned with, right? And then he says, well, what if I, was, less patient or whatever, and I slapped the shit out of you, right? So then she says, well, golly gee willikers, then I'd call the cops. And he says, well, how you gonna call the cops? You don't know who I am. Like, what? And she says, exactly. First of all, that don't even fucking make sense. What? That's not when you say exactly, dumb bitch. But whatever, that's beside the point, right? So let's get back to the actual point. So she then says, yeah, it's because you have no impulse control. It's just a word. Okay, so first of all, if it's just a word, then why not say any other word? Why that particular word, right? Especially considering the fact that, again, your issue is not even with the black person. Like, you having an issue with the white person. Like, huh, right? That's the first thing. If it's really just a word, then why do you insist upon using it? Because I don't get it. I don't get it, right? If somebody tells me that something is a slur, I'm going to say, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know that. Let me not say that word, right? Why would I use it just to make a point, right? Like, it's just a word, right? You got however many other English words to use instead of that one, right? That's the first thing, right? But then the second thing is this. You talking about impulse control, right? But you clearly have no impulse control yourself. Like, you mad because you got your ass beat by a white bitch. Now, first of all, anybody who's on the street fighting has no impulse control. And I can say that for a fact because I used to be on the street fucking fighting too. You have no fucking impulse control if that is you, right? So first of all, at your big ancient fucking age, because at least, I was younger doing that shit, right? But then again, she might be younger. Ooh, Chile, some of them folks age in motherfucking guacamole years. I don't know, right? But my point is this. No matter how old she is, right? If you out on the street fighting with somebody, you lack impulse control. That is the first thing, right? Then the second thing is this. You get into a fight with somebody. Let's pretend that Becky too was a black woman, right? You get into a fight with somebody and the first thing you start doing is yelling slurs, again, you lack impulse control, right? You should have a better control of yourself than to have a meltdown and attack entire groups of people because one person beat your sorry ass, right? But you lack impulse control. Yet you turned around and tried to say that a black person not allowing you to call them the N-word or just throw the N-word out willy-nilly lacks impulse control. Like, huh? But this is what I mean when I say it's no point in even trying to reason with these people intelligently because they are unreasonable. That is the simple fact. Unless you are getting paid, right? Like I'm making YouTube videos and I get paid from these, right? It is no point in even conversing with white people like this. There's no point because, again, this woman is unreasonable. She is delusional. Speaking to her is a complete waste of time because this is the thing about delusional people, period. Not even just, delusional as racist white people, right? Delusional people, period, cannot be reached, right? It's like they're in a glass room. You can't even get close enough to them to have any sort of effect on them. So why waste your time? Now, to be fair, it's not every white person, right? There might be one or two out there who is actually willing to listen and learn something and can be reached, right? Okay, all right, cool. So if they benefit from my videos, great, absolutely. But the average white person you come across just on the street, because again, it's 99.999% of them, right? The average, dumbass racist cannot be reached. There is no point. Do not waste your time. Do not waste your energy. In fact, laugh in their fucking face. Laugh in their fucking face, right? Because I tell you, the N-word is their grasp at power. It really is. Oh, my lips looking ashy. But let me tell you what I mean by that, right? And I used to be the type of person who was like, oh, if a white person uses the N-word, I'm beating their ass. And if you still that type of person, I ain't mad at you because they do need their asses beat. So I'm not mad at you at all, right? But, again, I stress the N-word is white people's grasp at power. It is the only thing that makes them feel strong. It makes them feel like they have an effect. Like, it makes them feel like they can change the course of your day, completely ruin your day, right? And something I say all the time, just period, right? Not even just about race or racist people or anything like that, right? I will never allow a person who has no control over their own life to have any control over mine. This woman literally just acknowledged the fact that she has no friends, her life sucks, etc., etc., etc. And clearly, she is not happy about that. Now, it's one thing, if you don't have a lot of friends because you're not outgoing or whatever, okay, whatever, right? That's fine, right? But she brought up not having friends because clearly she's sad about that. She's like, well, I have nothing to lose. I don't have any friends, right? Clearly, you have no control over your own life. Because if you did, you would have some fucking friends. Because clearly you're yearning for friends, right? But you don't. Because you can't even control the course of your own damn life. So why on God's green earth would I allow your pathetic ass to control the course of my life? Why would I allow you using the N-word to actually get me riled up enough to beat your ass and whatever, right? Because that doesn't make any sense, right? Because look, best case scenario, I beat your ass and I go on about my day. Worst case scenario, the cops do find me. I'm in jail. I got a record now, so and so, right? Why would I allow you to have that sort of power over me? Because you have no power, bitch. Why would I allow you to take any power? You are nothing, and you know that, and you're coping. Y'all want to know another recent example? Like, this just happened a couple days ago. Well, at the time of this recording. But I be taking so long to upload these videos that by the time I post this is going to be weeks old, okay? But recently, a group chat got leaked with a bunch of white Republicans in it being racist and homophobic and all this other stuff, right? And the funny thing is, everybody in this group was busted the fuck down. When I tell you, baby, they look like they fell off the bone. I said, oh, they slow cooked, bitch. Like, just nasty, right? They was tore up, right? But they was in this chat talking about, oh, watermelon people. Golly gee, really? Because if I wanted to see monkeys play basketball, I'd go to a circus or whatever, right? Yo, and it was so crazy because when I tell you nobody in this motherfucking group chat was foreign, and this is my thing, I'm not a hater. I would tell the truth, okay? If somebody in that group chat looked good, I'd be like, okay, you know what? This bitch look good, but like, you still a hoe, right? No, them motherfuckers was busted. Child, they was ugly. They was bad body too. This is my thing, okay? Look, and before y'all be like, Flowers, how are you body shaming? Look, I'm a big bitch myself, but one thing I say for myself, I was about to say, you know what, I've always been kind of proportional, but no, at one point I was like damn near round, okay? So, okay, I won't even say that. I won't even say that, right? But at this point, yes, I'm a big bitch with some proportions, okay? But they was just big, just pillow bodied, ugly as fuck. Look like you just got done hunching on your cousin type folk, right? But you in this group chat pretending that you're better than anybody. You know you're not better than anybody. You know that. You know that. You look in the mirror and you see the most pathetic thing in the world. Bitch, you ugly. You a fucking mess, right? And mind you, I don't even know nothing about these people. Maybe they smart. Probably fucking not though. But whatever, right? Look, there's no way you look in the mirror and you say, oh yeah, this is the supreme race. No way you look at yourself and you see that, right? But because of that, you use racism as a coping mechanism. You think to yourself, well, I completely fucking suck, but at least I'm not black though, right? And this is what I mean. These people are attempting to grasp power. That's really what it boils down to. Now, I'm going to end this video by saying this. Now, if you're a crash out, then absolutely crash out on white people. Definitely do that, right? Like, if you're the type of person, you fighting in the street, beating folks up, whatever, anyway, and a white person call you the N-word, then absolutely beat the fuck out of them. Because, shit, you know what I'm saying? That's who you are. That's what you do, right? But if you're not a crash out, don't even let white people bring that out of you, right? Because, again, why let a bunch of fucking losers who are coping with their loserdom bring you out of your damn element? I just refuse to let white people have that type of power over me because, bitch, you know what I know, what we all motherfucking know, that you are pathetic and you are grasping at straws.